Throughout the years, our fellow mutated fly, that of course being Baxter Stockman, has got many adaptations throughout the years, from comics to TV to movies. So today, I thought it would be a good idea to rank all the versions in today's video. And before we get started, this is my opinion. And before we get started, if you do like this content and want to see more from this channel, please do make sure to subscribe and like and turn on post notifications. Now let's go on with the video. And number 8 had to be the Rise of the TMNT. Now, even though I should personally feel a personal connection towards this one, because he's trying to be a YouTuber and all that, which so am I, but at the same time, they really ruined this character so much. I mean, his name is called Baxter Stockman, and he has man in his name, but now they changed up to Baxter Stockboy, and yeah, it really ruins the character. I can only think of 2 occasions which he was actually speaking in actual episodes, before they just decided to move him off to being the cameo character. And yeah, I don't really know about this character. Like, I feel like I should like this character, but at the same time, I just don't really like him because they really do ruin him and took him away from the original source. But if I do manage to find a way to actually bring him back to being what I know and love, then I'll possibly consider putting this one higher up in the ranks. And number 7 had to be the 1984 Mirage comics. And yeah, I don't really know how to feel about this character, or this version, because this was the first version we ever got of this one, and I don't remember much of this character being in the actual comics. Maybe him being in issue 2, volume 2, and maybe some volume 4? Yeah, he really doesn't, it doesn't appear much in it, even though in other versions he is in quite a lot of it. So it just very surprised me how much he wasn't really in it too much. But overall design, I think that's just, it's okay. I guess it got interpreted into different versions. So yeah, his plan wasn't really overly too well because it was adapted into the 2003 show. But yeah, this one I felt like it could have been a lot better, but at the same time, it was a new character. They were deciding what was happening with it. So they couldn't really do too much, I guess. But that's not the point I'm trying to prove here. And number 6 had to be the 1987 version. And, well, this is probably the only white version out there. And I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but yeah. And also, I didn't really get much of a man vibe from him. I got more of like a girl vibe or like a transgender vibe from him. I know that I'm probably going too far into it, but he really did give me those vibes. And yeah. And then he had, it's a really weird one because this is what made people associate him with the Fly aspect, and which did get later adapted into the 2012 version. So I understand where they're coming from. Is that like this is probably the most popular version or most famous version out there because of all that stuff. But when you look at it from a different standpoint, of like me, I mean, I'm looking at it like, why is this one so much popular? I mean, he wasn't really in the show too much. He was in season 1, build season 2, and every so often he would just come down to Earth with a robot and take over the city. So he didn't really have much of a good plan going for him or anything. He could have been a whole lot better, but instead went with this, and it did get people into the character. So I'm going to give him that much. And number 5 had to be the Batman vs. the Teenage Mutant Ninja Show movie, and I don't really know how to feel about this one because, again, this one's a Fly version, but it wasn't in the comics, like the Batman vs. TMNT comic. So it's hard to say if I do realise this one or not. But yeah, I feel like this one's an okay one. His design is pretty basic, I would say, towards other versions of the Fly. He does make an ongoing joke about him to know if he's like hostage or working for the Shredder, and I think that's a pretty good, funny joke. Then the next funny joke there was him giving up too easily to Robin. I mean, anyone could fight Robin and might lose, but at least they gave some actual fighting. Yeah, I'll say this one's actually a really good version. I'd really like to see more of this version in, hopefully, the sequel. Yeah, I'd really like to see more of this one. And number 4 had to be the Bay version. And well, even though he was in 2014, I don't really count that one too much. I prefer to count a bit more as the Outer Shadows movie, and I feel like they got his look spot on. It was like 2003 mixed with 2012 a little bit, and also Mirage. I thought that was like the perfect version. But then when you take a closer look into his character, he's not really that good. Um, I don't really know why, but like he's just so I don't really know how to describe him. Like not really in the movie too much. He's used very little. He's only used to create Beam Rocksteady, teleport Shredder, and get the Turnodrome here. And even when he's in the end of the movie, when he thinks that they're gonna be all kind of gods, Shredder just throws him away to a different like prison, even though Shredder could have used him. So it really just like puzzles me why they really did include this one when they could have just had like this random plot device on the movie. But I will give them that it was the first version or like, first movie version and live action version. So I'm happy that they did do it, and I can't really say much more than that. I did enjoy this version. Yeah. And number three had to be the 2012 version, and this one's an interesting one because it was by like a very good voice actor at the time, Phil Lamar, who did Green Lantern, Static Shock, and all those ones. So I really did like that. But then it was really weird because his only main story arc was him trying to be a human again, but they only lasted for like one episode. So yeah, it's really weird because one minute he's working with Shredder without his permission or like without permission and all that, and then next minute he's a mutated fly and wanting to get revenge, become a human, and then for the next few seasons he's just fine with being a mutant. So I'm a bit unsure where I lie on this one, but I would say that at least this one had at least more of a likeness to my preference. His design was okay at best, I'd say. Nothing really too good or bad. But yeah, and his one ongoing joke was people saying his name wrong. Well, I mean, is it really that funny? And number two had to be the IDW version. And I must admit, I do really enjoy this version, but the only problem is that we haven't really seen too much of this version for me to say this is my definition of Baxter Stockman. He has been in quite a lot, and not really too many story arcs. Because for the first handful of issues, he was trying to help Krang before he was actually taken hostage, in a way, and had to build a Technodrome. And after that, he was working with the Shredder to get mouses. But then shortly after that, he tried to become the mayor. So I do feel like there's a lot to go on with this version, but as of right now, I can't put it any higher than this. Just because I need to see where his story actually ends up, and if it is actually any good. Because if it was actually any good, then it will be number one. But as of right now, it has to be this place. Just because I really do need to see where his story ends. Yeah. And of course, at number one, it had to be the 2003 version. And yeah, my god, where do I even begin? What a poor, sad, lonely, broken man. Oh, I feel so sorry for him. Yeah, this one was the most smartest person alive. Well, apparently, but even though Dante beats him quite a few times. Yeah, it's a very fun character, I'd say. For the first three seasons, he's working for Shredder, and every time he fails Shredder or Han, he always gets tortured and loses a part of his body to the point where he's nothing but a brain in a jar. And you gotta admit that's saying something for how badly treated he was, and given the fact that they were even let this on a kids' TV show, I just can't believe that they actually let this type of thing actually come out. I mean, I'm happy that it did, but at the same time, it's very dark. Um, in season 4 and 5, I was working with Agent Bishop, which was able to get a body which we saw the darkest, or one of the darkest 2 episodes we saw to date, give or take. Very dark, very, very, very dark with Lucian's jaw. But I'm not going to go into too much because in case you haven't seen it, then just don't. Or do, but like if you're underage, don't. Then season 6 was in the future and wanted a body, so try to kill Agent Bishop. Season 6 was working with Han again, and yeah. So sadly, this was actually the only character except from Tails to actually make it through all 6 seasons. Um, well, yeah, and yeah, it's actually very surprising. I do really like this version. This is probably my favourite one so far. But like I said, it really depends on how the IDW plays their part in Baxter Stockman. Yeah. So that's gonna be it for today, guys. If you so let me know what your favourite version of Baxter Stockman is in the comments below. And yeah, so that's gonna be it for today, guys. If you do like this one, please share, like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Goodbye, yo. Bye.